Joining us now is Democratic Congressman and House Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam Schiff. Chairman Schiff, appreciate you being with us. It really is stunning. I mean, as Evan said, the course of history, I mean, it could have very easily, our democracy could have crumbled here.
That's absolutely true. We find again and again just how close we came to losing our democracy. Here you have Bill Barr, who, during his long tenure in the department, did so much to tear down the independence of the Justice Department, to use it to the president's ends. But even he got to a point where he said, I can't manufacture claims of fraud that don't exist. But there were other people in the department, including Jeffrey Clark, who were apparently willing to do so. And he just wasn't some senior level official. He was the head of the whole civil division of the Justice Department. And here he is asking the acting attorney general to urge Georgia to convene a special session, basically to try to appoint a slate of electors who don't represent how Georgians voted and on the basis of bogus claims of fraud. It's really breathtaking and just shows how very close we came through the use of this fraudulent but purportedly lawful process to losing our democracy.
This report from ABC News, that's the guy. This report from ABC News detailing the contents of a draft letter written by Jeffrey Clark, because we mentioned that he was the high-ranking Justice Department official who was apparently more on board with then President Trump's strategy to overturn the election than the acting Attorney General, Jeff Rosen. The draft urged, as you said, the Georgia legislature to go into special session over the election results. It's completely over the line, and you look at each of these events individually, and then you look at them in totality, the attempts to interfere with the results, the big lie, the insurrection, they are all part of a piece.
Well, they are. And, look, in terms of all of the former president's conduct, among the most egregious and, frankly, among the most worthy of investigation with an eye to potential prosecution is what the former president tried to do in Georgia. There he was on the phone in a recorded conversation asking the Secretary of State to find 11,870 votes that don't exist. Anyone else doing that would have been prosecuted already. And the evidence that you're referring to tonight, these internal letters and other discussions going on by Clark, no doubt at the urging of Donald Trump to try to give the Georgia legislature a reason to convene and overturn the results, would be more evidence in that case out of Georgia. So I certainly hope that the U.S. Justice Department, as well as Georgia officials, are studying the president's conduct, because it seems to cross the line into illegality, and it is very much deserving of investigation.
What's also so concerning about this is, it is not just this, again, this official who nobody recognizes, who, as you said, was running the civil wing of the Justice Department, so had an important position. But there are millions of Americans out there, and were out there, and who still are out there, who would have backed the Justice Department deciding to go into illegality and to basically start a coup. There's a lot of Americans who, to this day, would have backed what that guy wanted to do.
It's tragic, but it's true, because they believe that the big lie the president was pushing out, and not just the president, but a lot of the people I serve with in Congress were pushing the same lie. And what Jeffrey Clark was trying to do was trying to push the same lie on Georgia. Had the Justice Department issued that letter, it would have been part of the big lie and given it more credibility with millions of Americans. As it is, what they did already has done such damage to our democracy. It has gotten us to a place where a very significant number of the American people believe that if they lose in an election, if it doesn't go their way, that it's somehow illegitimate by definition, it's fraudulent just because they didn't win. And as we saw on January 6th, all too many are willing to use violence to achieve what they can't peacefully through their franchise.
Are there any legal consequences for trying to get the Justice Department to interfere with an election outcome? I mean, I know it's uncharted territory, and basically everyone is desensitized to everything the former president has done or is doing or will do. But, I mean, you got to ask, is there any accountability? And if so, what would that look like?
Well, I think the strongest case just on the public record involves the former president, and in particular that recorded conversation.
Right.
But there are also others that may very well be at risk. This acting head of the civil division, if he knew what he was doing was an attempt to fraudulently overturn the election, then there is certainly risk to him. And this whole sorry chapter really needs to be fleshed out and made public. It's one of the things that the January 6th committee that we're intent on doing and providing a comprehensive report, but it's also important work the oversight committee is doing.
Yeah. Congressman Schiff, I appreciate your time. Thank you.